Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Welcome back to the Dugout Football Channel. As you can see, I have brought down the lockdown chats back live. This is my first live lockdown chat. Now, obviously, you have seen Russell and Karl on the channel before, but making her debut, Emma Edgar. Welcome to the Dugout Football Channel. How are you all?
I'm good, thank you. Not as melting today. It hasn't been that hot, but I'm good, thanks, Doug.
Good. Karl, you all right?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, sounds fucking same old thing. Plodding on.
Russell, how you doing?
Tired, mate.
You look like you're pretty hungover.
I'm not so hungover, but like we're just talking backstage, weren't we? I pretended I was 18 again last night. Went to a pub and then got a bottle of Spanish rum and took it to a park with my mate, drinking till 4 or 5 in the morning. Who do I think I am? Pathetic.
Something a pensioner should be doing, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Middle-aged man.
Certainly wouldn't be me anyway. Let's say a good evening to a few people. Gainer's in. Good evening, Gainer. Hope you're doing well. Your stream might be delayed. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's about 2 minutes delayed, so apologies, people. Hello, Reese. I'm good, thank you. Hope you're doing well. Seamus Moores in the chat. Hello, how are you? Hello to Liz Golden as well and Harry Williams as well. So obviously, I've obviously had you on before, but it's lovely to have you back on here. And obviously, I wanted to get you on because I haven't had you on for a long time. So it's really, really nice. So one of the first topics I want to talk about, this is kind of, obviously we are still in lockdown. It was coming to me earlier today that lockdown for me has changed me a lot. So I'll come to you first, Russell. What has lockdown changed you as a person?
It's a good question, that, Doug, isn't it? When you have to look at yourself, like a bit of self-reflection, probably today's not the best time to ask me, to be honest. I'm all needy and ashamed with myself. But to be fair, I think, like a lot of people, it's made me a kinder person. Not that I was a nasty person or anything, but just seeing like the whole world come together and unite, it's made me want to continue that even after COVID. You know what I mean? Just smile at somebody in the street, even if they think you're a weirdo for doing it. Just, you never know, you might put a bit of happiness in someone's life just for giving them a smile or a hello. So I've been doing that a lot more. Do you know, like on like Christmas Day, when you walk to the shop, everyone's always like dead happy, like morning, Merry Christmas, like just like feel a bit like that all the time, which is nice. Something a positive from a negative, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I found that obviously I'm the only person leaving the house going to work, so that's been very, very strange. Because usually, like, my dad works in an office, mom works in a music shop, as does my brother, and then obviously the younger one, we're obviously going back to school. So it has felt very, very weird leaving the house on your own and obviously going to work. But no, for me, it's made me realise that hygiene is much more important. So because obviously I did let a lot of go. I have to bring this in. I have to bring this comment in. Sophie. Ross.
I've seen it.
Just unprofessional from you, Russell. Absolutely awful guy, mate.
Shocker, Anna.
Absolutely. Hello to Sophie as well. Hope you're doing well as well. Harry Williams, I will get to questions very, very shortly as well. I will talk about Liverpool's new signing, so don't worry as well. Seamus, Thiago talks apparently have started today. I don't know what to believe anymore. I do not know what to believe anymore, so take this with a pinch of salt. I'm not believing anything until I see his shirt hold up. Okay? So, definitely. Karl,
Can I ask a question really quick? Can I just ask one? Do we have to speak about Liverpool?
You can
I'm joking.
Karl and Emma, how's lockdown changed you as people, do you think?
I want to kill my kids a little bit more.
I find, for me personally, at the start, it was only Karl going to the shops. Me and the kids were in the house. We didn't leave for the first few months. So I think Karl had that strain. Me and the kids were getting frustrated. We were bored. I'm still off work till next month because I work in a school. So I don't know what to do with myself right now. And I feel like me and Karl are getting on top of each other a lot more. You know, sometimes we have little niggles. He just has to breathe wrong right now. And I just have a go at him because we're so used to having our own space and then coming together in the evening and talking about our day, where we're with each other all day and all night, 24/7 at the moment. And it's like I can't deal with it. I just really want it to go back to normal.
Yeah, definitely. Des Dane was the one that commented on my post, Russell, and he said, "Ooh, Fabian Barthez in the house. Bonjour."
Bonjour, monsieur Disdain. The French.
What is going on? I don't like it.
Because obviously the reason, like I asked you, because obviously I don't know if you've seen the reports, and obviously Scotland, that the Celtic boy Bolingoli went to Spain without quarantining after playing against Kilmarnock. Basically what happened was he played against Hamilton. He went to Spain without anybody knowing, basically for a day, and then all of a sudden the club officials go and pick him up, and then they find out about that. And apparently never told Neil Lennon, and it basically made the Scottish government come out and say that Celtic's next 2 games are postponed. So can you see something like this happening in England? Russell, I'll come to you first on that one.
For starters, it is a bit out of order. You know, season just started as well. What's he doing shooting off to Spain in the first place? You know, having himself a little party. I think it's good to discipline. You know what I mean? They're playing behind closed doors anyway. So what difference does it make anyway? To obviously, in answer to them postponing, what did they do? They've just postponed 2 games.
They postponed 2 games because of obviously, basically, Bolingoli played against Kilmarnock. He came off the bench as a substitute, so he could have easily infected all the Kilmarnock squad that were playing, all of the Celtic squad, all of the referees. So I think they've taken that into consideration. So St Mirren against Celtic was postponed, and Celtic against Aberdeen was postponed.
So essentially what it is, it's like a 14-day quarantine that he should have been doing anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's what they put in place. And I think, if it happened over here, then, to be quite honest, you've got to do them kind of sanctions because we've got to protect people. We don't want a second outbreak, you know. Yeah. I know it's only one person, but that's where it starts, isn't it? That's where it started originally. Good on the Scottish FA and the Scottish government for jumping on top of that one and clamping down. Fair play to them.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I totally agree. Karl, Emma, can you see something like that happening in England?
I reckon it will do. Yeah, if people keep flamming the rules, then it definitely will happen. Yeah, I just don't know if it would happen over here though. Not in the Premier League. I think you might see it in the EFL and stuff like that. But I think the players in the Premier League are on such high rules and expectations, and they're being paid so much money, and I just don't think it'd be stupid.
But on the flip side, we have seen Premier League players go off to Ibiza and that, and there's no social distancing. The rules are out the way, so I can see that happening here.
Not while the season's on, though.
It wasn't so long ago they did that.
They can go on holiday.
Yeah, it's just while there's massive lockdown rules and.
Yeah, but you can go on holiday. So if they're not at work, why can't they go on holiday?
I know, but the pictures that I see, there was loads of girls around. There was no social distancing. There's nothing protective at all.
No. Wow, we'll find out.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. I think obviously we all know about Jack Grealish. I think there was Serge Aurier as well. There's definitely been a couple of incidents. So that is the main worry for me, is that we may see something like that happen in the English Premier League. But I really hope not, because obviously if the English Premier League can see what's happened in Scotland, then that'll be an example to them. So obviously I don't want that to happen, but if it is the case, then the Premier League might have to intervene. But let's hope not anyway. But yeah, guys, get your comments in the chat as well. I mean, because obviously Reese is a Rangers fan, and obviously you'll be pleased with Rangers' lead at the top of the SPFL at the moment. So obviously because of Celtic's undoing as well. So, but let's go on to why we got into YouTube. Karl and Emma, what made you get into YouTube?
So it wasn't even it was like an off the cuff thing, wasn't it? It was you that did it.
Yeah.
I was like, what? No, I sort of said as a joke, like, imagine if we set up a fan channel. And then I think that sort of conversation came around because Full-Time Devils, they were already sitting around, weren't they? They already wanted us to go on, didn't they?
Yeah.
Before we had a channel. So yeah, they messaged us sort of that saying, do you want to come and do some bits for us? And then I was like, imagine if we set up a channel. And then I was like, go on then. And I was like, really?
And then obviously we started it out as the family, us two and the kids. And now we've just kind of broke away from the kids.
Scaled it back a little bit.
Just because so much stuff that has been said about the kids on Twitter and that, we've kind of stripped it back. It's just me and Karl now. And we're trying to limit what we put out about the kids because there's just some vile people out there at the moment. So yeah, it's just me and you. And I think it was my suggestion though.
There was definitely your
I think it definitely was my suggestion because I had a lot of people on Twitter say, "Oh, you and Karl should do a YouTube channel, day in the life of you and your kids and that." So it kind of just went around like that.
Yeah, definitely. Russell, obviously, when I interviewed you back in, I think it was April, you just started out on YouTube. How have you found YouTube?
I really enjoy it. I only joined football Twitter back end of January as well, like nearly beginning of February. And I tell you what, I've struggled with my mental health over the years, and it really helped being around people who've got the same passion and the same love. You know what I mean? And there is a bit of negativity now on Twitter, but you get rid of it and look at the positive side of things. So, and I've been on Twitter a while, and I thought, tell you what, I fancy doing a YouTube channel. I'm a natural born performer. You know what I mean, Doug? So I thought, I do stand-up comedy. And
look at me! Oh, look at me! I'm a comedian! Oh, I do gigs!
Let's get Kevin on!
What a bunch of arseholes. Anyway, Doug. So I thought, I get a chance to talk about something I love. So I started up just doing like a few videos here and there. And then Karl and Emma invited me on the podcast, and they can't get rid of me now. So
basically, what we've done is we've given you a platform, mate, and you're flying now.
To be fair, we do need another drunken podcast live one time.
Oh yeah, they're so good.
Them NHS ones were hilarious, mate. Oh god,
that needs to be done again soon.
Definitely.
Sorry, Russell, you carry on with your story, mate.
That's pretty much it, isn't it? I got a chance to entertain, which I like doing, and talking to the fans, and a chance to talk about one of my biggest loves in the world, Man United. Never in a million years did I think I'd end up on a dugout with a Liverpool fan. That was definitely not in the planning, mate. But you're a good guy.
Thank you. No, I mean, I just had like when I had the idea back in sort of July last year, I said to myself, I was good at predictions. I was good at talking about football. I just thought, let's do it. Let's start a YouTube channel. And yeah, from where I was about 12 months ago to where I am now, 410 subscribers. It's beyond what I would have wanted to achieve. I was personally wanting to just do this as a sort of a hobby, but it feels like I now do it as like an everyday thing. I really enjoy it. So, but no, YouTube for me is managed to give me a bit of a community as well, and obviously being on your podcast as well has really helped me to get my voice heard as well. And I am very thankful that you have invited a Liverpool fan onto the podcast.
Nah, what it is, mate, it's not because it's not who you support. If you're a decent guy, I'll have anyone on. Do you know what I mean? And you're a top guy. I wouldn't have a Liverpool fan that goes, "Oh, you're fucking shit." Do you know what I mean? Like, it's dead respectful. It's a rivalry instead of a hatred sort of job.
And the thing is, with you as well, Doug, you are very, very knowledgeable, and you have a lot of information stored in your brain that we just admire. We absolutely admire, like, how much you know, and you just store your stats, everything. It's amazing.
Stato.
He is, yeah. I need to try and get Doug a slot on the previews that I do, so I can have like a 60-second stat thing, and Doug can do that for me. I need to try and figure out how I'm going to get into the videos, but that does need to happen. I mentioned that a couple of months back, didn't I? I'm going to try and plan it. I'm going to try and plan it and see if I can get him in at the start of the season.
Yeah, definitely. Reese has just said this. Being Russell's first guest was amazing.
I really enjoyed that interview with Reese. Do you know what? Don't know if I've mentioned that I do stand-up comedy, right? But I was more nervous doing that with Reese, and I couldn't understand it. You know what I mean? Like, than standing in front of 200 people. It really got to me. Like the butterflies were there again. The adrenaline was rushing through me. But yeah, good on Reese. He was top man, weren't he?
Yeah, definitely. JB says Twitter is the home of trolls. I totally agree with that. Smutty is in, just popping by to say hello to my Scottish Twitter buddy. Hope, even though he supports the wrong team. Thank you, Smutty. Hope you are doing well. JB, well done on 400 subs. Yeah, I could never, ever, ever have imagined to have had that already, but obviously it has as well. Russell, let's talk about obviously your because your channel has grown really, really quickly. Obviously, you've got Kevin. Kevin's bits. What made you start that? Because that is genius, by the way. Absolutely.
I won't go as far as genius, but cheers, Doug. He used to be a character that I used to have called Bryn years ago, and I thought, I'll tell you what, I might as well get him out, just have a bit of fun. I'd looked around and seen like a few other Man United channels and whatnot, and I thought, you know, it's all pretty, even though it is light-hearted and fun on quite a lot of them, there wasn't like anything like that out there. So I thought, give it a try. If people like it, they like it. If they don't like it, you know, I mean, they'll let me know and it'll be gone. But see, people seem to be faring more than me, don't they, Doug? So he stayed around, I think.
Yeah, and obviously you do Sunday Night Live as well, which is very, very good as well. Obviously, you got 15-minute fan zone as well, and you got Kevin's quiz as well. And yeah, I'm on the leaderboard there, so
yeah,
I'm gonna reply back to a comment that Kevin made that I would if I won the quiz that I would burn everything. I'm not like that. So. No, absolutely fantastic as well. Karl and Emma, what made you start that that podcast? Who came up with that name?
Me. Yeah, me. Basically, with YouTube and that, you need to find a niche, right? And that's why, you know, like predictions is good for it because not a lot of people do it. Obviously, you got Russell with his characters. There's none of that. And then when we just go back to the first question, like how we started YouTube, we did see like a gap in the market where we were like, there's no other family thing on YouTube. There's nothing. There's not a husband and wife. There's just nothing like that. And that's why we started it. And obviously I did have a channel before this, but I deleted it. I'm like almost 5,000. I deleted it because I was pissed up idiot. But go back to the podcast thing. I've always just wanted to do a podcast like it was meant to be a podcast, not really to do with football and a bit just like lightheartedness and have a laugh and talk about everyday sort of thing, like stuff in the news and whatnot. That's why I've not really named it anything to do with football. And it's just like, you know, that podcast. The way I come up with the title was like, you know, when you talk to someone and you go, you know that shop, or yeah, you know that guy. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, oh yeah, you know that podcast. So that's where I, you know, sort of come up with it.
It's mainly, the podcast is mainly for you guys, because obviously me and Amy have Sister Talk, which is for us girls. So we kind of separated things. We've both got like our own little show, even though I sometimes come in on the podcast.
Always jump right on it. You seen it started doing well. Anyway, and we've had some pretty good guests over there. Like obviously Chadders, like he's my mate. Chadwick, Nardiello. You know, I've got some like Jay from Paddock and all that. All come on. I've got a few more lined up as well. But hopefully, if it works out, I enjoy it. Like it's not like the greatest view-wise. Doesn't do the greatest on the channel. It's between like 200, 300, 400 views, which is not bad.
It's not bad for the subs we've got either. So.
No, yeah, we're only at about 16, or coming up to 1,700 now again. So it does all right. It's just I like doing it. I get to talk to my mates about stuff that I like, and it's just a bit of a laugh, isn't it? Like, get away with it. It doesn't need to be serious. It's not like, oh, we've got to do a match preview.
The thing is, we're not a serious channel like, you know, the big channels like, you know, United Stand, Stretford Paddock. We are literally just mess around. We talk what we think about the football. There is no stats or anything in there because that's not what we're about.
Previews are great, mate, when I do them on my own. So I'm just basically like, listen, we've got so-and-so. I'm not really sure what they did last week, but I reckon we could win. It's like, and I think that's why people like our channel a bit, because it's literally off the cuff. Like, oh yeah, you know, you look at the big channels and the big videos. It's all like, oh, fucking reading off like an auto cue and shit, mate. No, I'm not about that.
Literally, the first channel away from like the big major ones. Yours was the first one that I ever found when I was just looking through YouTube, and I loved it. And I think you're one of my first subs, so go guys.
And we've become good friends from this as well, though. Like all of our little group.
Hang on a minute. No, Russell's an associate, mate.
Acquaintance.
Acquaintance, that's it. Don't say associate. That's a bit business. Yeah. Acquaintance. Yeah, acquaintance.
Business partner or something.
Joking, Russell. I do like that.
You're all right, mate.
No, I totally agree. I feel that it's building up a wee proper family. Like, obviously between Karl, Emma, Russell, obviously John, Nick, and Amy, who obviously are not here this evening. So yeah, shout out to you all, because like, I feel from being on those podcasts, we've got very, very close, which is very, very good. So, you know what? Definitely go and follow that United family over on Twitter. And yeah, closing on 2K subscribers again. Karl,
yeah. No, I'm not. I've not really got that much control over it anymore. Emma's in charge of like all the important stuff. I just do the graphics and edit some videos.
Gaynor says, your podcast is great, Karl and Emma, as is Russell's. Proper United fans talking football. Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks.
Smarty says, cheers, Doug. Next time Man United plays Pool, come join us on the United Stand as a guest. It would kick arse. Well, you know who you've got to ask for that, don't you? So, does the United family support Newcastle? He kidding. Oh,
it's actually Torquay United.
So obviously, because obviously you guys have got a big game on Sunday. You play the sort of what I like to call the kings of the Europa League, Sevilla, who have won this competition 5 times. Russell, how are you feeling going into that game?
I'm fairly confident, to be quite honest, Doug. Probably more confident than I should be. I think I was less confident going into the Copenhagen game, and rightly so as well. But watching 2 games, watching us against Copenhagen and Wolves against Sevilla, or Seville, whatever you call them.
Sevilla? Is that like a suburb in Birmingham?
I'm tired. Leave me alone.
Yeah, you know Sevilla, just off the M6, just past Walsall, that is, but yeah.
So watching the 2 games, United Copenhagen and Wolves and Seville. I felt even if we played the way we did against Copenhagen, we'd beat the Seville that played Wolves. But every game's different, and as you said, they are the kings of the Europa League. But I don't know how much that matters. It might give them a little bit more confidence, I think, and they might think it's got into United players' heads, but I doubt it. The professional players, they know the job that they've got to do, and I'll tell you something, right? I've got Phil Brown on from from Beyond. What's it called? Beyond the Pitch, something like that.
Yeah.
I got him on Sunday, and I was like, "Listen, mate," I said, just come apparent that we kick off at 8:00. I said, "Do you want to do the show earlier?" He was like, "Yeah, you can do." He said, "Oh, we can do it afterwards." I went, "Without having to sound pessimistic, mate, just in case shit goes wrong, I'd rather do it beforehand, thanks." So as much as I say I'm confident, there is that element of trepidation, which is going to happen because you want your team to do well, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. You guys have got a bit of getting back at Sevilla because obviously they knocked you out of the Champions League a couple of seasons back. So you know, revenge will definitely be on the cards. Karl, Emma, how are you feeling about the Sevilla game?
Do you know what? Before we had Sevilla and it was between them and Wolves, I was like, it's a catch-22 for us because no matter who we get, they are good teams. But we do need to beat the best to be the best. I am worried because we can't go into the game how we've gone into the previous games where we're slow, we're sloppy at the start, our heads are not in it, we're not up for it. What I do worry about is when it's a high-pressured game, we seem to don't turn up. Whereas when it's an unpressured game, we've beat, derbies, we've beat Chelsea. But when
well done, Emma. Chelsea is shit.
But when there seems to be pressure on the lads, it's like they don't turn up. So that's what I'm worried about at the moment.
And the thing is that you got to look at like Sevilla. They are a decent team. They are a decent team, and it's the one-legged thing that scares me the most. So if you literally don't turn up, mate, you're out. Look at Atalanta. Like PSG were not there for 90 minutes, and they scored 2 in 3 minutes in added time, mate. And that's how dangerous it is. It's knife edge, mate. It's really worrying. I don't like it.
I know, and imagine a blooming Stoke relegation reject scoring the winner for PSG. Mad.
Did he come off for Neymar as well? Did he come off for Neymar? Am I drunk?
I think so. I think.
And then he goes
for
the winner.
Yeah.
Mad guy, man.
It's mad, but I was wanting Atalanta to win last night because obviously they are the story of the Champions League this season. So, but obviously they didn't. Yeah, looking at it, I mean, obviously Sevilla, obviously they're not managed by obviously Unai Emery, but I was actually quite surprised when I knew about this. They're actually managed by Julian Lopetegui. Now, if anyone remembers him, he was the guy that basically got sacked by Spain because he was speaking to Real Madrid. So he's Sevilla manager. And apparently, Ole came out with something very, very interesting as well. That we've got something to settle with them, which I thought was absolutely fantastic because obviously he was talking about his Molde days. I think they lost 3-0 away, and I think they beat Sevilla 1-0 at Norway. So we'll see what happens. But I'm gonna actually have to ask you this, Russell, prediction for the game.
I'm going to go with a Man United victory, 2-0. 2-0.
2-0. Karl?
8-0. No, I reckon only because I mean 1 or 2-0. Yeah, I think we might even concede. Maybe we look really shaky at the minute at the back. I don't know why. But yeah. Yeah, no, I'm going to do 2-1 actually. No, 2-1.
That's my prediction. Don't.
Well, you can still, the words aren't used up forever. You can still use them.
I hate it when he copies me.
But I didn't even know what you were going to say. You
shut up, not
stupid.
I said it I said it in our video. That's why.
Where?
Sausage face.
What video?
Our one with the ladies in red.
Oh
yeah, not bad.
No.
I'm going to
What the frick? You can't do that. What are you gone red for? You've gone really red.
I'm definitely going 2-1 because I do think, like I said, I do think we will concede. So it is going to be a tough game, and I think it'll be a close game. So I'm definitely going 2-1.
I have to say, I agree with Emma. I'm gonna go for a 2-1. I maybe not even surprised. I might not even be surprised if it goes to extra time again.
I like that you agreed with Emma's 2-1, but not Karl's 2-1.
Mine doesn't count.
Whatever. Because he copied me.
I didn't copy you, mate. Full of shit. I need if someone can set up a GoFundMe for beating husbands, I need that. Abused husbands.
Reese says, stop Suso and Banega will win this game. Yep, Suso, obviously ex-Liverpool as well. So Banega is a very good player as well. There's no doubt denying that. Hello to Niagara MUFC. Hope you are doing well.
Good old Timmy. Timmy.
I think if Man United turn up, they could definitely win, says Nathan. Yep. Absolutely. This is 2020. Strange things are happening. Yeah, absolutely. And Martial usually shows up in the big games. Yeah, absolutely. So if you do get through, which is obviously a big gap because obviously it's Sunday game. Who would you rather face, Shakhtar Donetsk or Inter Milan?
Oh, no, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. That do you know what? I'd probably go for I'll play Inter every day of the week. Yeah. No, it's got to be. It's got to be Shakhtar, isn't it? But I don't see that happening.
It's going to come down to we play Inter Milan, and there's going to be a few players that is going to want some sort of revenge against us. I'm not going to put it past them that if Lukaku scores, I'm going to cry.
Listen, though, Lukaku's not even that bad. Like, he's a good striker.
He is a good striker.
Scores a lot of goals. It's just the fact that he can't do much else. Even when he signed for us, I said. In a few videos and that.
Ashley Young's getting a few assists as well. So do you know what I mean?
It is the Italian league. Like, Serie A is not that great. Fucking hell, it's poo-poo. It's not good. Lukaku's good at scoring goals. I said that when he joined. World class at putting the ball in the net. Not very good at anything else. Sanchez just died at United. He can now play because he's a permanent deal.
It's just going to be one of those things that if we play Inter Milan and touch wood we don't lose, but if we do, it's going to be from an ex-United goal, isn't it? You can see it happening.
Yeah, you can.
If we go out to United players, man, I'm going to be livid.
Why are you doing Denning?
Nick Denning.
Let's see some of your predictions. 2-0 Man United says Nick Morris. Reese agrees with me, Karl, and Emma. 2-1. Nathan's also going 2-1. George Kyle's in the chat. Hello, George. Hope you're doing well. Easy win versus the Spanish farmers. I like that. Reese Woods 2-1. Martial is on fire. Yeah, he is. He's had a fantastic season. JB's going 2-1. I think most people are actually going 2-1. To be honest, George Kyle's going 2-1. Diego Karl to Sevilla's best player in defence. Yeah. Apparently Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City are in for him if you believe the rumours, but never interesting. Martial and Bruno penalty, lol. I wouldn't be too surprised by that. Wouldn't be too surprised, but I'm not getting into this rubbish about what was it Bruno Fernandes or something? I'm not getting.
The thing is with that though is whoever's getting penalties, doesn't that show our pace?
United says Nick Morris.
No.
Okay.
There's a massive.
Reese is saying Inter final and Sanchez, Lukaku, and Young to be sent off. Imagine. Just meant to be United versus Inter. Sanchez scores the win. Oh, imagine. Just imagine. Vincent Bullock is in 4-1 United. That is very, very, very optimistic. No denying.
Yeah, shout out to Vincent. What a guy. Here we go. In honour of Russell, who can name the most ginger United players in 30 seconds?
Paul Scholes, Nicky Butt, Wes Brown. I think Jim Layton had a bit of ginger in him as well, so that's 4. I know me gingers, me.
You've named 4? Yeah, I know gingers, I know them all.
Anybody else off the top of my head?
You can understand why you're a comedian. Proper tool.
Yeah, just a bit of melon.
Just a massive melon, mate.
Oh, Gordon Strachan.
Gordon Strachan. By the way, just a quick on the penalties. Ollie, in his press conference, has already confirmed that Bruno will take both of them, so it's all right.
All right, fair enough.
He seems to be very good on penalties, doesn't he? So, yeah. Why change something that ain't broke?
Not missed one in 4 years.
No, he hasn't. Jimmy Nicol. Oh yeah. These are some players you forget who are at your club. Obviously, Jimmy Nicol. Obviously, I think he was assistant to somebody at Dunfermline, who I can't remember the name of the life of me as well. Now, some breaking news obviously happened today. The FA Cup replays and two-legged semi-finals in the Carabao Cup are to be scrapped. What do you make of that, Russell?
I think it had to be done, didn't it? It's going to be a congested fixture list. especially with only starting in September. Some of us even later, possibly. And with the Euros coming up next season, hopefully, they've got to be thinking about the players and what it could do to them, the exhaustion it could cause, the extra injuries it could cause. It's just going to be needless. I love a good replay. I love the magic of the FA Cup, and I love a good replay. But it's the right decision. You've got to look after the lads and just think about them, because if it's still going to finish in May as well, isn't it? So yeah. For me, it's a good shout.
Obviously, Karl, obviously, me and you had a wee discussion about this. The schedule for the Carabao Cup is mental. 1 to 4 is like in this first few weeks of September.
Mad, mate, innit? Mad. I would have thought they would have got rid of the League Cup, if I'm honest. I don't think there's many teams that would be asked if we just didn't play it next year. Obviously, like Russell said, you've got to think about the international competitions coming up. Everyone's like, yeah, we don't care about the Euros. Right, that's fine. Don't have to watch it. But what we're saying is half our squad's English. So it's like they're all full internationals. They're all going to play. So then they're rushing all these competitions and playing 2, 3 times, 4 or 5 times in like 2.5 weeks or whatever with the Premier League, the European competitions, the FA Cup, blah blah blah, and then they've got to go and spend 6 weeks playing Euros and then come back and then jump straight into a Premier League season again, and then you've got a World Cup in November.
It's just you've got to look. There's there is going to be injuries from this, and that's the horrible thing. So I
think we should just fucking sack it, mate. Honestly, I think what we should do is League Cup, mate. In go to 23s, not asked, don't care. Even with the FA, even as much as I love the FA Cup, I think just literally just to save legs is just play kids and then obviously you start again next year, because the senior players, the next 2 years, mate, it's going to be a really long old slog. It's great for us because it's football like nearly every day. Do you know what I mean?
But we see that getting tired from this.
Exactly. You look at the state of them in a minute.
Our players are looking tired. Bruno's looking burnt out already, bless him. Maguire's played every single game. It's like they need to have some sort of rest. The rest period that they've got at the moment is not great.
And the thing is, with the thing, they're going, oh, yeah, you've had 3 months off. They haven't. They've had 3 months off from not going into work. But
they still did training at home.
A really hard schedule, mate. And you see, and the other obviously, like Bruno, we had Ryan Hopper on it. They were going to one-to-one sessions and stuff. Mate. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's not the fact that they're not playing games, but they have been working at home. Yeah. So it's not like they've gone on holiday and that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is absolutely mad. It's an absolutely mad schedule. Gaynor says it's hard on the lower league clubs who can gain revenue from replays, though. Yeah, absolutely. Nadeem agrees with you, Russell. Replays are the essence of the FA Cup. Yeah, to be honest, I quite like a FA Cup replay, but obviously because of the current situation we are living in at the moment, I can understand that for sure. Seamus says there will be.
What's happening? Obviously, I'm guessing the FA qualifiers have already started now. Then.
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
Yeah, have they? Yeah. So that's a long season.
The Champions League are on, mate.
That's a long season for them boys as well, isn't it?
Mad, mate. Madness.
It is. Seamus said there will be midweek cup games nearly every week at the start of the season. It's mental. It's absolutely mental. Resar says the replays will make it more competitive, but financial loss, I agree with Gaynor. Nick Moore says got 2 England games in a few weeks as well. I mean, there's not going to be much breaks. There's not going to be much breaks as well. George Kettle agrees as well. Far too many games as well. Cup Council's in. Connor, I hope you're doing well, my friend. Evening, everyone. For me, I think the League Cup should be from Championship down. Yeah, I quite agree with that. I think what you're going to see. I think some of the big clubs will probably play reserve teams and probably throw. That's my gut feeling as well. How do you think Forest will get one in the Prem? Oh, Anthony. I know they're big rivals with you, and I know they didn't make it. So yeah. Barman Maguire is dead on his feet, but Ole won't rest him. Yeah, I saw a wee stat actually. Harry Maguire has played 5,242 minutes of football this season.
Mad
That's
that,
way
innit?
too much.
Do you know he's the
Way
first
too much.
player? He's the first player since Gary Pallister to start every Premier League game. It's since 1994, I think.
Great, yeah.
That's amazing. That is
Madness.
amazing.
We're proper getting our money's worth, aren't we?
Yeah. Arsenal will play their main squad then. They might well do. Thing is, with the Championship teams, they want promotion, so League Cup wouldn't bother most. Obviously, we go on to talk about the Premier League, because obviously next Friday the fixtures are announced for the new season. So I'm going to actually ask you this, Russell: who do you want to start the season for United?
Oh, who against?
Yeah.
I like getting our games out of the way quite early, so Leeds.
Chelsea.
I know. I'd love to start with Leeds. You know what I mean? I hate Leeds. Last season was a tough one to start with, but we beat Chelsea 4-0. But yeah, I'd love it. Ellen Road, first game. No, saying that, I won't be able to go, would I? Because it'd still be in lockdown.
Yeah.
So yeah, quickly thinking on my feet. Everton then, because I've been there enough, so it's all right. We'll start off with Everton and wait until stadiums are full again, and then we can play Leeds and Liverpool and Man City. That'll be better.
That's what I've got a funny feeling that might happen. They actually might wait until people get into the stadiums to, play those sort of games, because, Manchester United, Liverpool, and Leeds United, Manchester United behind closed doors would be just disastrous, I think. Karl, Emma, who do you want to start the season?
By the way, I'd love to know the thoughts of Man City fans now, because their Manchester derby, they're their number one. It's now our third derby of in the order. It's Liverpool, Leeds, City, innit?
Yeah.
Fucking big game. Anyway, who would I like? Yeah, do you know what? I'd like the first 10 to be quite easy. To be fair, the first 10. I think if we can get through the first 10 games of the Premier League with relatively, leave sort of the bigger teams towards the end. I think we get through 10 games unscathed. I think we would have a really good season. On the flip side, like last year, we were awful, weren't we? At the start of the season.
Do you know what? I would like to start off with someone like Leicester, because it's not majorly hard. It's not a weak team. It's going to be a good game still to start off with.
Yeah, they're nice and easy.
Yeah.
Shit.
No, Leicester,
boys in the chat.
Leicester's a nice game, I think, to start.
And they're shit.
Yeah.
Could just tell Brown Knight in the comments, Nadeem, he's put, you guys are forgetting that we don't start the season with the rest of the Prem because 9 days. We've already said it, mate. Shut up. Good lad, Brown.
Nathan Football says games like Leeds versus Manchester United need fans in attendance. Absolutely. Yeah. There's nothing better than a Leeds United Manchester United game, especially Elland Road or Old Trafford. And to be honest, both sides hate each other anyway. So definitely. Oh, here we go. Anthony, champions of England more recent than you.
Fuck it. Tell you what, proper sound like Arsenal fans these lot now, don't they? My brother-in-law's the same. Oh, look at us. We won the league once. We've won it 4 times, mate. Do you know what I mean? We're bored of winning the league. We're let the minnows do it.
Yeah.
We like being shit now as well, but it's well more fun.
Cop Council, I'd love to have United at Anfield. Wait until the fans get in, Connor. Wait until the fans get in. I can't imagine Liverpool, Manchester United behind closed doors, to be honest. I honestly can't. RB Combs is in. Hello, how's it going, boss? I am very well, thank you. I hope you are doing well as well. Des Dane has asked, will Leeds be a force to reckon with next season?
Nah. Be straight back down. What's he on? Nah, no way it is. No, serious note, I think they'll do all right. I think they'll hold their own, but they won't be a force. They've got a great manager. They haven't got much money behind them, I don't think, either. You know what I mean? They once went into administration, which was absolutely hilarious. So I can't see them being a force. I think they'll be a tricky side, but they won't be they won't be coming up and doing a Wolves. No, not whatsoever.
Yeah, no, I think if you spent 16 years out of the Premier League after getting to a semi-final of the Champions League and getting relegated a few years later, mate, there's obviously some issues there. And I don't even think they've got that. They've bottled it a few times. They haven't got the mentality Leeds anymore. They're not that good anymore. They're just not that good. I think I'd put money on them go straight back down, mate.
Yeah, I do.
Good. I like that bet.
Yeah, fuck them.
It's because obviously I did a poll earlier. I was asking people what video they want me to do next, and one of them was the Premier League predicted table. I think that's got like 45% of the vote. That's going to be so tricky to predict. Because to be honest, for me, I agree with Karl because Leeds' mentality recently has not been great. So see what happens. Being shit is classmate, says Anthony. Vincent Bullock is 15-2 United to win the league. Come on, United.
Wow, we were 16-1 only a few weeks back, so that's a big cut.
I said, do you know what I said a few months back before we had this lockdown? I said, put money on it. Everyone laughed at me. I said, do you know what? United will be in for the title next year. Next season, we will do it. Get a few more signings and we'll be in for it. I stick by that. I think we'll be in for the running next season.
I think if you get Sancho and I think if you get a couple of players, and I think you'll definitely be challenging us. I honestly do. I think the way that you performed last season, barring obviously Burnley result, when obviously Bruno came in, you were unbeaten through that period. Obviously, apart from the Chelsea game, the FA Cup game, you were unbeaten. So quite possibly. Is the Champions League still on? Yeah, Atletico Madrid are playing RB Leipzig at the moment. I've got my phone at the side of me. No. All right. Well, we're not missing anything then. We're not missing anything. Right, get your questions in, guys. Reese Woods is asking, what is United's goal for the season?
Next season?
This season, I think it means.
Nah, this season's finished. It's this season, isn't it? Like the coming one, 2021.
Yeah.
Just being in a conversation, being relevant, I think, this season. Obviously trying to pick up a trophy.
I literally misread that question. That's why I thought he meant as in a goal, as in what was your goal of the season?
You sausage.
I misread that then. That's why I was like, what?
No,
right,
goal
I get it.
I think being relevant, getting a trophy, obviously not being 20 on in the top two.
I'm back.
Yeah, no, and maybe picking up. I'd just say play the kids like an FA Cup or something like that. Contradiction. You know what I mean?
What? We lost Doug.
I don't know. Where's Doug gone?
Hey, hello, Doug. He's back in the room. You right there?
He's gone. Right. This is the Karl and Russell show now. Oh yeah, shit. I know, mate. Yeah, the wife's there.
Oh, yeah.
No, to be fair though, I think being relevant next season. How mad's this, by the way? 2 United fans and a Liverpool channel. Lol.
Lol.
By the way, Liverpool.
I'm same as you, Karl. I think being relevant.
Oh, we're back. Sorry.
Excuse me, we're trying to do a show here, Doug.
Just interrupting like that.
How dare you come back on this channel?
Yeah. Let's have we froze.
You right? Are you right, Doug? Doug?
I think there's a satellite delay, mate.
You reckon? Yeah.
Oh.
Got one of them storms again in Scotland.
I'm back.
Yeah. His answers fell out the wheel.
Sorry about that. I don't know what happened there. To be honest. To be honest, I was just saying that Leeds have got better odds than Leicester, which is mad. Yeah. Nathan's asked me one for you, Doug. Do you think Liverpool can win the Premier League again? I get asked this so many times. Whenever I'm on streams as well. To be honest, I think George Karl said it. I think we will be favourites. I do think we'll be favourites. I do think he is right. I think us and City will be favourites, but you've got Chelsea that are strengthening. You've got Manchester United that will probably strengthen as well. It's going to be. It is not going to be 18-point margin this season. I can safely say that will not be an 18-point margin. So it'll be difficult for sure. It'll be difficult for sure. In fairness to Ollie, has got United playing proper football again. Yeah, I think he's done a good job. A good job.
Impact
yeah, I
is
am
better.
back, Roberto.
Impact
I
is. It's
am
not great all the time.
Yeah, the internet is crap. Tell them you want them to give you a month free. yeah, definitely. City replace Company with Ake. We're finishing above them next season. I'll tell you
Not a bad
something.
player, is it? But I can see that. Yeah, that's like that's a big drop, isn't it? Because Company was a legend of the Premier League. To be quite honest, as hard as that is to say, he's a nice guy as well, isn't it? It was hard to hate Company. Such a good player and such a nice guy, but played for shitty, didn't he? So
yeah.
The mad thing about Vincent Kompany though is that he wasn't even signed as a centre back. He came in as a centre fielder, didn't he? And then he got a few injuries. He played there, and he was absolutely legend. Like he met his wife in his wife's Mancunian, and all of her family are United fans. And when they won the league, he was sat in her dad's living room.
Seen that. It's funny,
And he's around like, yeah, we won the league. Your dad's like, fuck off.
Yeah. I don't think Liverpool will win it. Not many signings, and everyone will know how to play you. Yeah, that is definitely possible as well. I can see City signing Koulibaly. Well, if they get rid of John Stones, then that is very, very possible. Reece Woods had a very good question. What is the most iconic Liverpool-Manchester United game you have seen? Russell, I'll come to you first for that one.
Oh, that's a great. Whose question was that? Doug's got it again. That's a great question. I don't know about iconic, right? But my favourite game ever, I think it was 1989 again, and it was 3-1 to United. We were 1-0 down, and we scored like 3 goals in the space of 8 minutes. And my hero Sparky got one of them as well. He might have got 2 of them, in fact. So that was the greatest game ever for me. Got me thinking. That's a great question. That come back to me in a minute as well. I might have another one for you. But for me, 1989, we beat them 3-1, and that was so many memories. In fact, that was the game I first ever heard the expression "get it in the onion bag" from the old man.
Yeah, mine probably would be.
I don't know.
Mine probably would be either just mate. I don't know. When Matt scored the overhead kick, that was a pretty good game. When Forlan got 2, that was another one as well.
Oh no, yeah. When was that when he took his shirt off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was when he played without a shirt, like he was running around.
That was yeah.
Or did he score? No, it's a different game. That he scored 2 at Anfield, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there was the home game. There was the home game where he was defending without a shirt on.
Right. Yeah.
That was hilarious. It's been
cool. Cantona.
Yeah.
Mate, there's so many.
There's so many good iconic games. It's just.
But even when it's not a great game, it's still a good game, isn't it? Because of just the atmosphere.
This season's was a good game. To be fair, we took a point off.
Telling you, the Old Trafford one, I did a watch on the Devils for that, mate. I thought we were going to win.
Yeah.
When we went 1-0,
we should have won that game. To be fair, I think.
And then fucking Adam Banana comes on and scores. Nightmare.
To be fair, you should have won that game. You should have won that game. Mine is the 1977 Cup final. Last game I went to with my dad before he died suddenly. Oh, Gaynor, that's very, very sad about your dad. Oh, Liverpool Man United iconic one I've watched. To be fair, I've been to a couple at Anfield where we've beaten you. But I think I think probably the more iconic one was probably the 4-1 in 08-09, because I don't think anyone gave us a chance that day, and we turned up. I know we went 1-0 down. I remember well. Ronaldo scored a penalty, and then Vidic allows a big ball to keep bouncing, and Torres capitalises and gets that goal. Jar scores a penalty, then Vidic gets sent off in his many games against Liverpool. I think he got sent off against us 4 times or something.
He's one of my heroes.
He's
Fucking
amazing.
love it.
He's amazing.
But I would probably even argue the 2-0 game at Anfield this season, because that was probably the game that everyone was like, this is going to be Liverpool's year. So, but
do you know what? Oh, shit, I've had a brain fart. It's gone. Don't about me.
I'll tell you what.
I
can't remember what game it was, but a quite iconic game that I liked was when the Stretford End released the banner of to say that we're back when we've won 18, when we'd won 19.
Oh yeah,
that was a good game. I like that one.
I like. Do you know what? Right, on big games, like we're really good at fucking it up properly. Like when we lose to City 6-1 and stuff like that, and looking like 4-1 at you guys, we're really good at messing it up drastically. It's never like, oh, we lost 1-0. It's always like, oh fuck, it's 3, 4, 5. It's madness how that works.
I agree with George Karl. Is there any greater myth than Torres having Vidic on toast? Vidic had him in his back pocket almost every time they played, but people only remember 2 of the game. Yeah, I have to agree with you there, George. I have to agree with you because Torres only scored 2 goals against Manchester United. So, you know, I would agree with you. Would definitely agree with you there. No worries. It was obviously a long time ago. Des Dane, stop spraffing rubbish like that. Breaking news, Cleberson to join United on a free transfer.
Oh, is Beppe coming back as well?
Hey, there's nothing wrong with Bebe, mate. Not wrong with Bebe.
I actually remember when you got Bebe. I remember all the hype about him when he came in. And it's just one of those ones where you're like, that one got away. That one got away.
Dreadful, wasn't he?
It was awful. But I remember Eric Jemba as well. When you signed him, so good they named him twice.
Yeah.
Ended up playing in Scotland, didn't he, Doug?
Yeah, he did, yes, for St Mirren. For sure. Couple of other questions. Gainer's asked, how did you all become United fans?
Oh, nice question.
I don't really know, to be fair. Because none of my family likes football, really. I live with my mum when I was younger, and she hated football. I could rarely ever watch it. I remember I taped the '99 Champions League final. I've still got that somewhere. That was mad, isn't it? On a VCR, I taped that.
Yeah, but you couldn't even watch it, apparently.
No, I was only little, wasn't I? So I didn't stay.
I was little.
But my mum hated football, mate. So she didn't understand. Like, I watched it the next day. So I watched that. And I think I just fell in love with it because they were always on telly. Like, my dad's a Coventry fan. So he doesn't really know much about football either. Yeah, it's just like, I just fell in. I think it's because we were winning and like we're on TV all the time. And it was sort of the first real team I just sat and actually watched. And then I was like, yeah, I like these. And I like red. So I was like, yeah, banging. I'm supporting them.
For me, my dad was a massive Man United fan. And me, my sister, my brother were literally brought up with it. Me and my sister used to sit there in my dad's massive Man United shirts watching the games. I actually watched the 99 game. I was allowed to stay up and watch.
Because your family like football.
So yeah, it literally is from the moment I was born, it was Man United, Man United, Man United. And that's where I've taken it to my kids as well. Because as soon as they're born, they're put in shirts. You know, we watch football and they love football. Even if one of my kids turned around and said, look, Mum, I don't like football. I'd be like, okay, that's fine. It's not a problem. But for me, growing up, my dad was just a massive Man United fan, so I fell in love with it, and it's like our family time that we did.
Yeah, Russell.
Yeah, my family were always divided. You like most of them were either City or United. Like my granddad, who was probably my biggest inspiration when it comes to getting involved in football and loving the game, was a City fan. So I don't think he was best pleased when I chose the red side of Manchester. But even one of his sons, my Uncle David, he's a United fan as well. My old man's a United fan. So pretty much, I remember my old man saying he reckons I said Man United before I said Daddy. So it's just one of those things, isn't it? I was born into a very passionate footballing family. And I chose red because it's better than blue.
Yeah. We've got some spammers. If any of my mods are in, can you please get rid of them? Thank you.
Hey, Doug, you're on 60 viewers, mate. I wouldn't complain.
That's very true. That's very, very true. what got me into being a Liverpool fan? Probably my dad, to be honest. My dad was a big Liverpool fan, and obviously I couldn't go against him, so definitely. And one final question we have for all of you is from Reese. A question to ask: if you could go to any football match in world football, what game would it be and why?
I reckon I'd go to Rangers and Celtic, to be honest. Whilst we're on a show with Scottish Mush, I think I'd love to see that atmosphere, and it always reminds me of Kevin Bridges' sketch on his stand-up show, and he said Danny Dyer went to it, and he said Danny Dyer was there like, oh, I'm here at Rangers Celtic. I can sense the atmosphere. It's turning. It's gonna kick off. And then like some granny walked past with some chips, going, "Hey, yeah."
Yeah, definitely. Karl, Emma.
What was the question, mate? Sorry, I was reading the chat.
What was one game of football you would go to?
Oh, does it have to be United?
No, I just said Rangers and Celtic.
Yeah, no.
A Scottish game would be. We always said that when we went to Aberdeen, didn't we?
Yeah, no, I really want to go and do. I want to go watch Dortmund, Munich.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Dortmund, Munich would be my.
Real Madrid, Barcelona would be mine as well. Listen, guys, I'm going to end it there. The chat has gone absolutely crazy with all these spammers, but thank you very much for Karl and Emma and Russell for coming on. Where can we find you on your socials, Karl and Emma?
Go on.
We are That United Family on YouTube. You can find my Twitter page, xmrx88.
Mine's just Mr. Karl Edgar. Get involved. YouTube, That United Family. Dead easy to find us. Find my big fat melon head.
YouTube, Eat, Sleep, United, Repeat. And on Twitter, Stretford_10. Come join me if you want to.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to come join me?
Well, he's led the lot.
Thank you very much to everyone who's tuned in. Yeah, sorry about the chat. It seems to have gone very, very crazy. But thank you very much for watching. Leave a like when you leave this video, and hit that subscribe button as well. And I'll see you all in the next one. Take care. Bye.